The Trump administration is deporting illegal alien criminals, and Hollywood is hysterical.
I just want to say that I'm so sorry. All my people are getting attacked. The children. I'm so sorry. I wish I could do something, but I can't. I don't know what to do. I'll try everything, I promise.
422 million followers saw this sob fest. It didn't take long for the internet backlash, with people saying, you know, this is really tone deaf, Selena, because number one, your private security and transportation make it so that you're not likely to be victimized by one of these criminals. The rest of us don't have that same luxury. And two, as Evita Duffy Alonso said, Selena Gomez is half Italian. Her Mexican father wasn't in the picture, and her Spanish is terrible. Evita is Spanish. So what does she mean, my people? Selena has since deleted the story. She followed it up with another story, though, saying apparently it's not okay to show empathy for people. Where was this empathy for nursing student Laken Riley, mother of 5 Rachel Morin, or 12-year-old Jocelyn Nungaray, who were raped and murdered by illegal aliens? ICE Director Tom Homan doesn't have time for this. He's got a job to do.
We're going to do this job, and we're going to enforce the laws of this country. If they don't like it, then go to Congress and change the law. We're going to do this operational apology. We're going to make our community safer. We're going to save. Once we lock that border on continuous operation, you're going to see fentanyl deaths decrease, illegal alien crime decrease, sex trafficking decrease. It's just all for the good of this nation, and we're going to keep going. No apologies. We're moving forward.
Now that's a real border czar, unlike the last. Also, where is Selena's allegiance to her actual people, her fellow Americans? The US is the reason she went from a humble Texas home to being a billionaire, living in a $5 million palace in LA, despite her mediocre talent. She literally can't sing. But the leftist freakouts keep coming. Over the weekend, Trump successfully negotiated the return of planes filled with illegal aliens back to Colombia after their president first refused to let them land. Ana Navarro of The View posted on X, most of the flowers imported into the US come from Colombia. Happy Valentine's Day, America. According to Democrats, Valentine's Day is canceled. President Trump put the safety of Americans over the price of floral imports. How dare he? Navarro's riveting thoughts, as always, comes after Trump threatened Colombia President Gustavo Petro with 25% tariffs on all Colombian imports after Petro refused to take back 2 planes full of deported Colombian nationals. Petro's main objection was that it was undignifying and humiliating for these illegal aliens to be returned to Colombia in chains on a military plane rather than welcomed with a red carpet and private planes, apparently. After he caved, Petro said, okay, fine, I'll pick them up myself with my presidential plane. This is so silly. Just bring them back. Let me break it down. The chaos at our border is a national emergency. According to the 1977 International Emergency Economic Powers Act, Trump can block transactions, freeze assets, or in this case, wage tariffs and sanctions against another country in order to secure it. At first, Petro claimed he would slap retaliatory tariffs on goods coming from the US, but not too long afterward, Colombian Foreign Minister Luis Gilberto Murillo said in a statement that the two countries had overcome the impasse. Translated to English, he said, "We will continue to receive Colombian men and women who return as deportees, guaranteeing them decent conditions as citizens with rights." But Trump's tariff strategy worked. He just successfully got Colombia's leader to shut up and agree to our terms. The White House released the following statement. The government of Colombia has agreed to all of President Trump's terms, including the unrestricted acceptance of all illegal aliens from Colombia returned from the United States, including on U.S. military aircraft, without limitation or delay. Was that really so hard to take back your own citizens that you allowed to infiltrate our country in violation of our national sovereignty? In the election, Americans said loud and clear that they want illegal aliens, especially criminals, out. A majority of Americans support mass deportations, including a third of Democrats. The Trump admin has gotten right to work to make sure that happens. With Homan at its head, ICE began the mass deportation plan within hours of Trump's assuming office. Legacy media has their violins out again, of course, but this time they just don't seem as loud.
Oh, well, this is a country founded by immigrants. Well, this is a country
This is a
founded
unique
by
country.
This is a very unique country, and it was founded by some immigrants and some settlers. But just because we were founded by immigrants doesn't mean that 240 years later that we have to have the dumbest immigration policy in the world.
And look, Trump's team is totally fine with playing bad cop. Again, that's what he was elected to do, overwhelmingly.
These people are vetted.
Just like the guy who planned a terrorist attack in Oklahoma a few months ago, he was allegedly properly vetted, and many people in the media and the Democratic Party said that he was properly vetted. Clearly he wasn't. I don't want my children to share a neighborhood with people who are not properly vetted, and because I don't want it for my kids, I'm not going to force any other American citizens' kids to do that either.
No, and that was a very particular case. It wasn't clear if he was radicalized when he got here or while he was living here.
I don't really care, Margaret. I don't want that person in my country, and I think most Americans agree with me.
For the record, past presidents also had large deportation projects. Barack Obama, for instance, deported over 3 million people during his 8 years in office.
Your response
They
to
did
that?
it. We changed.
did not
They built the
separate
cages.
the-
Who built the cages, Joe?
Let's talk about what
Who
we're
built the
talking about.
cages,
Let's
Joe?
talk
In addition, doing all this, taking action, is an obvious deterrence to more future illegal aliens, and it probably will encourage voluntary self-deportation, which is a known phenomenon that happens when administrations crack down on illegal immigration. But the presidents that came before Trump were a little more subtle. They also worked with Democrat leaders across the country to establish sanctuary states and cities, essentially inviting large influxes of illegal aliens to taxpayer-funded shelters, food, healthcare, etc. As you can see from this ICE raid, this Haitian gang member with 17 criminal convictions who is living in Boston knows exactly which politicians were on his side.
I'm not going back to Haiti.
One of those threats is this illegal alien from Haiti. ICE says he's a gang member with 17 criminal convictions in recent years.
So, you feel me? Yo, Biden forever, bro. Thank Obama for everything that he did for me, bro.
Now, neither the White House nor ICE is keeping any secrets about shutting down the border. They shut down the CBP One app on day one, and the deportations are being documented for every voter to see. And yes, the outrage is still there, don't get me wrong. But after 4 years of anarchy at the border, a majority of Americans just don't care. And if you want to know everything else that Trump's team is rolling out literally within the first week of taking office, click here.